From Appleton, Wisconsin, this is APTV.
Welcome to APTV, episode 483 for Thursday, March 23rd, 2023.
This week we have banter, news, updates, a spring garden, some Esterbrook flex, a trip to Hawaii, a contest winner, a new contest, plus a new Twisbee that is coming soon.
Hey, Steph.
Hey, Brian.
Did you know I recently I invented a game?
Really?
Yeah, it's just, this is amazing. It's a game called Silent Tennis.
Silent tennis.
Yeah, it's just like tennis, but without the racket.
Right. Although that does remind me of something Eric brought back from his trip to Spain. You know, he went to Madrid and he brought me back a pen with an extra fine nib.
Really?
And I love it, and I was just so shocked. No one expects the Spanish ink precision. So let's see, we are coming to you guys this week from the Chimera Hobby Shop. Or Chimera Hobby Shop?
Chimera, I think it's Chimera.
Yeah. And so this is a chain. Apparently, I didn't realize there were more than one, but the first Chimera Hobby Shop opened up in 1990 in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, a city about 45 minutes south of Appleton, for those not from around here. I'm assuming this is Fond du Lac, not Chimera Hobby Shop, but one of these things is famous for being the birthplace of Brian Anderson.
Yeah, I was not born in a Chimera Hobby shop, but I guess
I just opened up a pack of trading cards and wow!
I don't read these notes, so that's no, I was born in Fond du Lac. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so my kids always when they were growing up, they went to Chimera like every weekend, every day they go there.
Oh, it's right in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's right in the neighborhood.
Too.
It's going to be by the new store too.
Yeah, I would have been all over that place too if I had been that close. That would have been a cool place. So we moved to here. We got ours in 1995, and they were on College Avenue. Then they moved to Wisconsin Avenue, which is, cool thing to do.
Yep.
Here it's a done thing these days. And they sell board games, resources for tabletop RPGs, plushies, puzzles, brain teasers, card games, trading cards, and many other fun things.
Yeah. Kids would go there all the time, and they would have their D&D games, and they'd be gone for hours.
Oh,
We'd
yeah.
never see them. So
got a big area in the back where I think they have a whole bunch of game tournaments. Every time I go there, I see people doing cool stuff.
Yep.
Fun times. We're also coming up on March 23rd, which is National Puppy Day. Very important holiday. Cute.
But you don't have any puppies.
I know.
You have cats.
I know, but one day I'll have both.
We'll have both. Okay.
I need a yard before I have puppies. But yeah, apparently on Puppy Day we celebrate the unconditional love and affection that puppies bring to our lives. As long as you have a yard.
As long as you have a yard, yeah, place for the puppy to go, so to speak.
And to celebrate, take your dog to a dog park. I should have spelt that just in case I know people watch with their dogs. I'm sorry. Pick up a special TREAT.
Oh, okay, nice.
And GO for a WALK with your young friend.
Okay.
And after National Puppy Day, if you need something to celebrate, March 24th is National Cocktail Day.
Okay.
Ushers in all the best ways to savor a beverage at the end of a long work day. Whether you like a fruity drink blended or on the rocks, this day is for you. We've got mocktails, virgin, or the real thing. Celebrate the lemon, lime, bitters, liqueurs, and liquors that make your favorite beverages the best. Eric says, I'll drink to that.
Nice. All right.
News for this week.
News, yes. March 30th, National Pencil Day. So that's a week from today, if my math is correct. And we are going to be doing our vintage mailer this month on Thursday instead of our usual last Friday of the month because of that. And I brought a few pencils that I thought I would just show off on APTV here. Ooh. That will be in that will be available for sale. Now, these are available for sale in the store, so if you're local, you can come in and take a look at these. But I picked just a small selection of what I thought were the best ones. And you photographed all these, so you've seen all these.
You'll see all these. If you're signed up for our newsletter, they will be in your inbox.
Yeah, and some of these are really pretty fantastic. First one I've got here, a Schaefer Balance in Rose Glow. So if you're a balance collector, you know there are a multitude of colors available. Rose Glow, probably the rarest, the hardest color to find. And it is kind of like a pink with gray in the material. It's really a stunning material. This one is a Schaefer Junior with the nickel trim, but lovely pencil. And keep in mind, most of these vintage pencils, nowadays you have 0.5s and 0.7s are fairly common, and you can even get 0.3s and 0.2s. But in vintage pencils, pretty much almost all were 0.9 or 1.1. Like anything below that did not exist.
I love because I write really hard.
Yeah, you're not going to break the lead. This one here, very rare. This color, this is a Schaefer snorkel pencil in fern green. This is the hardest color to find. It's super rare. It's not a perfect specimen, but it's pretty nice. I mean, go find another one. You're not going to find one. But I literally... It's the
most perfect specimen I have ever seen.
Yeah, right. And I hate to say this, but it was actually in a box in my basement. For something a little different, I have this Nassau, which is kind of a cool 1930s, kind of a cream and white and tan marbled
I love
pencil.
that flowy pattern.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It wasn't an expensive pencil in its day, but it's pretty neat. We've got some. Here's a really cool Eversharp pencil, and this one is a button activated.
That confused me at first.
Yeah.
I was very excited.
So instead of it being
that.
a twist, it's a button, which is pretty cool. And put that in there. We've got a couple of nice senior size dual fold in jade. Not perfect specimens, but they're also priced accordingly. But a large pencil, nice large lead. So we've got a couple of those. We do have some quite scarce, what you call these wartime or thrift time pencils. And this particular one in the red and black mottled plastic. It's plastic, not ebonite. Very hard to find. This is what they call the Duet Senior Thrift Time. And it's got the matching material on the top. Pretty cool.
So they made them out of plastic instead of ebonite to save rubber?
Well, no, it's just that, sometimes when you talk about red and black together, you at least some people will think naturally red and black mottled would be hard rubber. In this period, everything was plastic anyway, but in this instance, it's plastic and not. It looks like hard rubber, but it's not.
Yeah, it totally looks just like the old ones.
So then here's another thrift time pencil. This is a Duet Junior, and these had the little metal thing on top of the black and bronze, which is a very, very cool material that was used back in the day. So I got one of those. If you really, really like a nice, clean jade, here's a jade dual fold, streamlined ring top. Beautiful
that
color.
Green looks gorgeous.
Isn't that nice? Nice trim. That one is very cool. This one, I don't know where I got this. Of course, that's usually the case with most of them. This is a Parker Parquet desk pencil. It's super cool, and it operates by moving the taper.
Oh, cool.
So in some pencils, you move the cone. Some pencils, you move the end. In this case, you move the whole taper to extend the lead. Lovely green marble. Really a cool thing. I don't have a base for it, but maybe you do. You don't necessarily need to have a base for this because it's a pencil, not a pen.
Although it'd be fun if you had a base on your desk and you'd be like, Parker, park it.
Yeah. You would probably have a double desk set, and then you'd have a fountain pen on one side and the pencil on the other.
Oh, yeah.
This one I know you love, and it's cute. I found this. It's literally, I don't know how many inches this is. What is this? Maybe 2.5 inches. This is a Japanese pencil that has the tiniest piece of lead ever. It's maybe 1 inch long that fits in there. But it's just a cute little adorable thing. It's got a spot for a ring top if you wanted, and a little bit of little ivory on the top.
I was wondering how you managed that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's just, I can't even. It's so adorable.
So it's usable, but it's kind of a cute piece. And then last but not least, this isn't a pencil, but I do have a couple ballpoints in the lot. This is an unusual jotter, And I didn't tell you how this worked, and so Steph sends me a message. Why I think that
I broke it.
I think I broke the jotter. This is what's called a jotter minim, and it takes a full size Parker jotter refill, but it operates a little bit differently. While there's the knock, pressing it down doesn't really keep it down. You have to kind of press it down and then push it off to the side.
Oh.
And then when you want to release it, then you just push it in and it snaps up.
That's the trick.
So pretty hard to find. In all gold fill. It's got a couple of dings on it. It's got a name nicely engraved on it. But it's if you collect jotters or weird little things, fully usable. Like I say, it's got a regular Parker style jotter refill in it.
So the first thing I noticed when I opened up the boxes, I said, "What on earth is that thing?
It's different,
that looks cool."
right. So super unusual. So those are some of the, and then there's more. I forget how many I gave you. I think close to 50.
Yeah, but about 50.
And there are a few fountain pens in the mix, not very many because of course it's pencil day. There's some Esterbrook pencils. There's lots of Schaeffers. There's lots of Parkers. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So sign up for the newsletter, like Steph said, and it will go out Thursday morning. If you're local, you're welcome to stop in advance and take a look and purchase if you want, and we'll go from there. Yeah. So we have some other news.
Let's see. We've got a Girologio price increase coming up on April 1st. So
And
pricing.
I did hear about this, but I haven't actually looked at it, so I figure I still have some time between now and April 1st.
Stocking up. So that those prices will go up effective April 1st.
Saturday, yeah, okay.
And that average increase will be about 12%.
12%, okay. Well, they haven't gone up in years, and they've always been very affordable. I've got a nice, most everything available in black, brown. There are some options in ox blood and the bomber and the saddle tan and things like that. But
Any chance it's all an elaborate April Fool's joke?
I hope not. That would be really poor taste. But no, I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised just because, like I say, they haven't increased price in. I don't
been
think,
a long
time. So if any of those, and we have them in singles all the way up to 48s, or if there's a particular one, and then we carry pretty much everything. If there's something that you're interested in that exists that we don't carry for some reason, let me know. We'll get it for you. So next up, I wanted to make a little reminder since we are closing the Chicago store. We do have. Give you this one here. Give you the pretty one. I just wanted to make a note that the two Retro 51 pens that we have, Lisa hates it when I do this, the Chicago and the Palmer, what we have is what we have, and we are not going to be making any more once these sell out. And we're getting down there getting pretty low on the Chicagos. We've got a few more Palmers than we do Chicagos. But if you're thinking about getting one of these, and you haven't gotten one, I do recommend you just get one soon before we sell out because we won't be making any more.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I already have a Palmer because
yeah.
this is such a gorgeous pen.
Yeah. And when before George retired, he said, and I've said this to people before, it was the prettiest pen he said he had ever made. And we actually
did not know that.
We actually didn't get our entire order because he just said, okay, well, I'm taking 10 or whatever. I forget what it was, 10 or 20 of them. And he didn't charge me for them. He just charged me for 20 less or whatever it was, so, it was kind of funny.
They're both wonderful designs. Yeah. I had no idea that this one glowed in the dark.
And we didn't either. We didn't actually spec it. So when the Chicago came out and we opened Chicago and we had Retro come in for a couple days for an event. And they said, "Oh, well, what did you think about the glow in the dark?" I said, "What are you talking about?" They said, "Oh, you didn't know?" Held it up to the light. I'll be dang. All the lights all the windows in the buildings glow in the dark. So all this white on the pen here.
It's like the skyline at night.
Yes.
It's so perfect.
Yeah, super cool. So, and of course, the blue and the red are the colors of the Chicago flag, and then that's what the stars are and everything. So these are going to be in short supply very soon. We have a decent amount, like I say, of some of the Palmers. Chicago is significantly less. So if you're interested,
no glow in the dark
I recommend
surprises
getting
on the
one.
Palmer, but it's just stunning.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And of course, as with all of our retro limited editions, our initials are on the pen somewhere.
Cleverly disguised.
Cleverly disguised. And that one took on that one. It took me.
Oh, I found it.
You knew where
I did.
You
I
knew
totally
where it
knew.
was. It took me. I spent up like 30 minutes, and finally I said, I give up. I can't find it. I just can't find it.
Yeah, that's very well hidden. I'm not going to spoil it.
Yes, yeah. So if you need to know where it is, let us know. We'll point you in the right direction. So
There might be a photo of it on the website.
there probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody spoiled it for everyone, but
So.
don't look. Just don't look.
So, and as long as we're talking about this, a reminder, Anderson Pen Chicago will be closing permanently as of 5:30 p.m. this coming Saturday, which is the day after tomorrow, March 25th, 2023. So if you're looking to go down there, 9:30 to 5:30 through Saturday. Steph, we have a note from the mailbag.
Oh.
Note from the mailbag. So
Smell.
make sure to use your pens. Write to us at Anderson Pens, 10 East College Avenue, Suite 112A, Appleton, Wisconsin, 54911. This week's letter comes from Nathan from Wyoming. I don't know if that's the state of Wyoming or the city of Wyoming, because there is a city of Wyoming.
Oh, is it in the state of Wyoming?
No, it's Wisconsin.
Oh,
Wyoming, down by Madison, right?
That's confusing.
Right?
I've
You
never
don't know.
been there.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah. Anyway, dear Anderson Pens, just wanted to send a quick note to thank you for all you do. I've been a happy customer for years, but now that I have discovered APTV, I'm an ecstatic customer. I look forward to your show each week. Here's a joke for you. What kind of eclipse is it when the sun moves in front of the moon?
That'd be
An
apocalypse?
An apocalypse.
It took me a minute. and then I started picturing something, and oh no!
All right. We're just going to move. I'm going to move right along. Thank you, Nathan.
What do you call a beehive without an exit? Unbelievable.
This has been pretty hot this week, and so we're going to talk about this for a little bit. The Esterbrook SD Botanical Gardens. Why don't you read off the specs here, and then we'll talk about it.
The Esterbrook SD Botanical Gardens doesn't just pay homage to springtime gardens, it frolics in them. This pen contains a kaleidoscope of floral accents from greens to blues, deep reds to oranges, in a mosaic of color that intrigues the eye and inspires the imagination. This new addition to the Estie core lineup comes in either gold or palladium trim, and also in both oversized or standard fountain pens. Nib choices include extra fine, medium, broad, 1.1 stub, journaler, scribe, needlepoint, extra fine flex, and soon the Techo.
Okay, so that's a lot of information.
Yes.
First thing we're going to say is these have been very hot. They're coming in. We got our pens late because of the Techo.
Fitting for springtime in Wisconsin.
Yes, come late. Yes, very good. So we're kind of doing some pre-orders as they come in, and we just got a bunch in today. But beautiful, beautiful looking pen. I love this material. I think the gold is definitely selling better than the palladium trim. I think it matches nicely with the color of the pen. And actually, so we're looking at these. We see, you know what, this material is very similar to something else. And the first thing I was thinking of was the Collier, the rock candy. But,
yeah, that's what I thought too.
But clearly much different.
Yeah, very, very different when you
similar
put them
kind
next
of
to each other.
small pattern kind of marbling. But then we came up with this. So very similar.
There it is.
There it is. The Edison Comet in.
Is it better? Brandy wine.
There we go.
Brandy wine.
So very, very similar. I think this is maybe a little bit darker material. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's
very similar. Just a different format. So of course you got that cool top at the bit there. But all of the nibs this thing comes in. So let's talk about the special grind nibs.
Yeah.
So you've
Nibs
got
upon nibs upon nibs.
the journaler. Of course, everybody knows about that. Essentially a stub italic. The scribe, which is a architect nib, so your cross strokes are broad and your downstrokes are thin, so the reverse of a stub. Needlepoint needs no introduction, very, 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 very fine. There are 2 new flex nibs they added, and we're going to talk about those actually in a couple of minutes. The extra fine flex and the fine flex. And soon the Techo. Well, what is the Techo? You know what the Techo is?
No, I'm hoping you'll tell me.
I'll tell you. Well, the Techo is a new nib designed by a CY, and it's very similar to the Sailor Naginata Togi, or maybe you can think like the Zoom. So at different writing angles gives you a different line width.
Oh, okay.
And they were supposed to be available for the launch of this pen. However, there were not enough to go around. So they're going to be for a short period of time until they can catch up to demand, sort of pre-order. So if you want one, you're interested in one, I do recommend you order them so you can get in the queue, because getting extra right now is not going to happen. So if you have an order in for one, you're in the queue. It's first come, first served. They're expected to arrive about 2-3 weeks, mid to late April is when they're coming in. So if you're interested in that nib, again, it's like a Naginata Togi, or a Zoom nib, where it's different line widths depending on the angle that you write with. So it looks like it's going to be interesting. And they also laser engraved the nib this time with the name Techo in Japanese.
Oh, cool.
As opposed to before the scribe, the journaler, the needlepoint, I'll use a stock nib. The scribe uses a broad nib, then they grind it down. The journaler uses a medium nib, and then it's ground down. So they say medium and broad. Now this one's actually going to have it's not going to have that stamping. It's going to have the laser engraved Techo name on it. So they're pretty cool. They are coming in, like I say, mid to late April. So get your order in for those. And as soon as they come in, we're going to ship them out. We'll try to get them in stock, but like I say, they only got a couple in. They said, you know what, it's not enough for everybody, so
makes sense.
They held them back. Yeah. So,
but the sooner you get your order in, the sooner you get your Techo nib.
Yeah, pretty much anything else. Journaler is always going to be a little bit of a lag. We do have some of those in stock now. We've got some scribes, we've got some needlepoints, so it depends. Sometimes we may have to order those, but the flex nibs, which is a nice segue. I've got a couple here. I'll give you.
Yeah, I've got one.
Couple here. Oh, you got one in there? You got one on your pen?
Estie here too.
Yeah, so these
fine, I think.
These are the number 6, and they've got the little cutouts on the side, made by Yovo, of course. They come in 2 variants, extra fine and fine flex. And
excited about that extra fine. That's a really cool feature.
Yeah. So you're going to get some line variation on this. It's a little bit springy. These are now available separately. They just came out, and in fact, there was a delay in getting the gold. The silver ones came first. So if you have a pen and you want to try some more flexible writing, you can get this nib separately now. It's not going to be like the journal or the scribe or the Techo where you have to buy the pen to get the nib. You can buy this separately. So they are available. Silver and gold, number 6 size. And quite frankly, you can put them in anything that uses that housing. So you've got an Edison, you've got a Franklin Christoph. I'm sure you can put them in. You can even pull it out and put anything that uses a Yovo nib.
Wow.
So,
yeah, that's really
Conklin,
handy.
Monteverdi, any of those brands. So those are available.
Just screw it into an Estie like it's an
Or
Esterbrook.
you can screw it into your Esterbrook.
York.
Absolutely, yeah, because it does, of course, have the Esterbrook logo. It's got that little infinity sign on the nib. So that is new this week. We have it back in stock.
Oh, that's right. The Sailor US 50 States Hawaii has been out of stock for a little while. I think it flew off the shelves right away when it first came in. I kind of think of it like a brightened up version of 1, 2, 3. It's got a little bit of that dual shadiness, but it's more of a blue and less of a gray.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's been hard to keep in stock for good reasons. It's
when
really
you
pretty.
said we were going to Hawaii, I thought there was actually a trip to Hawaii going on here.
Sorry,
so I'm a little let down here, but we do. Yeah,
Next best thing.
I guess. Yeah, we do have some in stock, and of course it comes in a cute little 20 ml bottle with. They now have. Do they have the stickers in these? I guess there's no sticker in here.
But we've got those little informational packets.
Little information thing here, which is kind of cute.
I always have to read those every time.
How they're inspired by the color or whatever. So
always.
A couple more things here. This is quite a bit, and I don't know where the. Oh, there they are. They're
hiding in plain.
as most people know, Schaefer was sold off last year. I guess we're going on 7-8 months ago. So Schaefer products have been very hard to come by. Recently, about a week or so ago, we did get in a shipment of some cartridges and ink, which is good news because we were down to almost nothing. Now, the good news is we have most colors. So we've got cartridges available in blue, black, brown, green, purple, and a mixed pack, which includes red, green, blue, black, and purple. So I don't have black or blue separately, but we have them in the mixed pack. Literally was all that was available. And the new bottles, so we do have bottled ink. And the funny thing here is these came out pretty late in the life cycle while Cross had Schaefer. And we didn't actually get some of these colors.
Yeah, this latte is brand new.
We didn't even have. And what's cool about these is this is an old vintage script bottle. And you can see the well here. And that's what they did with the new bottle. They did a 30 ml bottle. This is obviously a bigger bottle. And they put that little well in the side. So you tip it upside down and then go back, and then it fills the well so you don't have to dip your pen. Now, it was designed for the Sheaffer snorkel because the snorkel is designed that you don't have to dip your nib in the ink. You can just do the snorkel tube into the thing, and then that would use up all your ink. So,
which is the coolest trick ever.
It is the coolest trick, yeah.
My Sheaffer snorkel from my grandma that you restored.
You still
for
use
me.
it? You still use it? Good.
Yeah,
good.
I filled it up with some Inferno Orange from one of these bottles, and I felt so awesome.
Okay. But yeah, so we have these bottles. They are the smaller 30 ml bottles. I wasn't actually sure that this was going to work out, but when I saw the bottles, I was really impressed because I thought 30 ml is pretty small. But it's very nice. They've done a very nice job with that.
They're very nicely shaped.
They're available in the following colors: Inferno, Latte, which is the one that you have, No Fuss Black, which I'm not certain we actually had. And these are all new names for some of the old colors. Renegade Blue, which is this one, probably the most popular. Retro Sunset, and Berry Verde. So we've got quite a number of Schaefer bottled ink and cartridges in stock. No converters, sadly, but keep in mind that if you've got a pack of cartridges, you can refill these with a syringe to at least get you going in the meantime. Next up, we did get another restock.
Oh, that's right.
This literally came in yesterday. There was some problems getting it through customs, but that's kind of how things go sometimes. This next one I'm really pretty excited about. This is the Magna Carta Denima, and this is just a cool pen. It comes in this blue, and it looks like denim with matching section, but it's really kind of like a micarta material. In fact, you can even see on here the furriness of the material on the section.
It's the coolest
It
thing.
is pretty cool, yeah. So steel nib, ebonite feed, which is very unusual for any pen, much less a pen in this price point. Cartridge converter, nice large size. It's chunky.
Nice and light too.
Yeah, it's very light. It doesn't really post, but without it posting, it is a very nice length. It fits in your hand very well.
I love that the Denima has, like, it almost feels like kind of absorbent, or it's got kind of a matte finish to it, so that it doesn't get slippery if you get sweaty hands.
Yeah, as your oils from your hand get into it, it will probably gloss up a little bit. But one of the nice things that I like about the Magna Cartas is you'll notice that the striping on the pen almost always, like 99% of the time, lines up. It's perfect. So, I mean, it's my OCD kicks in. And,
does.
If it was like this, I might just go, but it lines up perfectly. Nice clip, nice pen, and it's not that expensive. It's really a good price. The next one is, this one has always been very popular.
Another one that really makes my inner OCD really happy.
Yeah, the Prince, and we call this the Slate. I think they call it something else different internally, but these also line up, and then they line up so that the name engraved in the barrel is facing the front of the pen. You got the roller clip, and what's cool about these, number 8 size nib. Again, we've got an ebonite feed here, cartridge converter. This is essentially a king of pen profile.
It's
a
made
big
with
pen.
so much love, and at such a low price point.
Yeah, and it's just a pretty looking pen. I love the color, steel nib, But, it's not going to cost you what a King of Pen cost you. And it's just as big with that, nice big nib, which you just don't find anywhere.
And with all of those cool acrylics.
Yeah. So we do have these in brown too, but the prints, we just got this back in stock, and the prints has been very popular in this color. So those are new back in stock from Magna Carta.
Why should you never brush your teeth with your left hand? Because a toothbrush works better.
Last week, I wasn't here, but rumor has it there was a contest. The question was, what do you use to clean your pens? And just about everybody we discovered uses water.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah, at least we can agree on something. About half use tap water, while the other half prefers distilled water because of water hardness issues.
Okay, yeah, that would be the only case that I would say, distilled water to me is a little bit overboard. But if your water is very hard, distilled water is perfectly fine.
Makes sense.
Good choice, yeah.
Makes sense. And for tap water users, most use cold water. A handful use tepid to warm water. The distilled water group, most used room temperature. A few used cold. And almost everybody used a bulb syringe, and many mentioned a blunt syringe, mostly for cartridge cleaning.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was a game changer when I discovered that trick. I remember.
Yeah, I'm big into syringes now. That sounds terrible. I'm wearing long sleeve shirts. No, I mean, they're just, especially for cartridges, because I'm refilling a lot of cartridges and even converters sometimes, which I never thought I would ever do. But it's just when you're trying to get to the bottom of an ink sample vial, it's just so much easier to use a syringe.
Yeah. I feel like I'm like power pressure washing inside the converter. I'm like, all right, that's a little spot over there. I gotta get it.
It takes like zero time. It's like 10 seconds. It's really awesome.
It's very satisfying. Let's see. A few other tools that people mentioned. They mentioned pen flush, or maybe a drop or two of dish soap, a drop or two of ammonia, an ultrasonic for extra credit.
Yeah.
For
heavy duty.
Yeah.
Really helpful with vintage, and you have to be careful with ultrasonic. That's the standard disclaimer. But there's lots of things that you shouldn't put in an ultrasonic. But especially for vintage, when you've got dried ink that's been dried for years and years, it's more helpful for that than it is anything else.
That makes sense. That stuff you'd otherwise have to scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub, or jewelry. Rumor has it
jewelry. Yeah,
on that too.
Yeah. Just glasses. Glasses. You don't have glasses, but. Sometimes you get, whatever. It's really helpful with glasses.
Good to know. I'm going to save that up for one day. One day when I finally need glasses.
I hope you don't.
Aw. Not anytime soon anyways. Let's see. Oh, and there were a couple of surprises in the comments, so we'll go through those ones. Goldilocks Zone said, although gasoline and fire cleans thoroughly, I have wisely switched to cold water only.
Wait, switched?
Gasoline and fire works great if you need to get all that pesky acrylic off that's around your converter.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, nice.
Is wisely switched to cold water only.
Okay,
Good choice.
Right.
Never had to use pen flush yet.
Yep.
Stephanie Young says, gas to clean pens in this economy?
Yeah, right. Very good. Nicely played, Steph.
Let's see. Father Philip Lastimosa? Hope I pronounced that right. I only use cold water with a bulb syringe. No pen wash, no ultrasonic. Old school.
Yeah, and and I should mention too, even though we do sell pen flush, and it's very helpful. It's very, very helpful. I always tell people, try water first. If water doesn't do it, then let's bring out the pen flush. And it's a tool. It should be used at the right time.
Yeah. Water's the first line of defense.
Yeah.
Pen flush is backup.
Yeah, and if you regularly clean your pens, you might not even need it. So we use it here in the shop all the time. But
that reminds me, I better go get some pen flush. Summer Pearls says, another delightful APTV. I use tepid water to clean pens and, like Brian, only employ flush if ink is being stubborn.
Oh, I didn't even read the comment in advance.
A beautiful segue.
Yeah, nice.
I call my stages the on-deck circle waiting to be cleaned, the spa when they're in various stages of cleaning and disassembly, and dry dock when they're clean and on a towel-lined tray. Oh my goodness, and on a towel-lined tray.
Say that 10 times fast.
I can't even say it one time slow, apparently. I think I've got a bunch of pens on dry dock.
Dry dock, yeah, okay.
Let's see, and James Medchemiker says, as for cleaning, I do like the effect that a little white vinegar or citric acid can give due to how hard my water is. Interesting.
Okay. I have never used that. I cannot confirm, but if it works for him, great.
This was one of our surprises. Another trick that we hadn't heard of before came from Michelle Canfield. She said, pen cleaning, simple room temperature water. My twist is that instead of a bulb syringe, I use a squeezing bottle, or a squeeze bottle like you would use for condiments. The larger amount of water it holds is more convenient for me.
Yeah, instead of constantly, that's interesting. Yeah.
I totally have a whole bunch of those that I bought.
Whoever ever finishes a bottle of ketchup, though. Like in my fridge, there's like 4 bottles of ketchup.
See, I just recently went to a specialized food service supply store where like you shop if you owned a restaurant.
Okay.
Because I wanted to get those pen cleaning bottles, those condiment bottles.
That's really what they are.
That's what they are now. I got a pack of 6 of them, so I'm going to try this at home, and if it works well, I'll bring one into the store.
Okay,
but I figured it would be good for like if I want to like do like some like green pea puree or something on my salmon on a bed of risotto, and I have like a little like fancy little like dots of condiment on the tray because sometimes I get extra when I cook.
Apparently
Apparently
often, I guess. No, that's actually a very good idea because you can just take the top off and then fill it with water first instead of having to wait there for and if you have a bulb syringe that's got the narrow end, it takes forever for the water to get in. To suck back up.
And you can just unscrew the top.
Unscrew it, pour it in, put a couple drops of pen flush or whatever in there, and then boom, you're done.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I need to remember to try that. I haven't dirtied a new pen since I've heard this.
You can help me. I've got apparently since last week I've got 30. Well, I've got 35 because I left 2 of them at home today.
Oh boy.
On my desk that need to be cleaned.
Oh, I'll try it with 1. Let's see. Meb Pratt said, I use room temperature distilled water and a drop or 2 of dishwashing soap if needed for dark or pigmented inks to wash and rinse. Then I put the filling end of Then I put the filling end of the section in my mouth and blow to get out as much water as possible. I do that too.
Yep.
Then finish by letting them air dry in a jar with a silica gel packet.
That's very creative. I never thought to do that. Yeah.
It's finally something to do with all of those silica gel packets that I've been tempted to eat.
I suppose what you could do too is if you have a number of pens, you could take like those flat Tupperware containers. And then you could fit multiple pens in there. And
we're getting ideas.
Here. You're going to come here next week and there's going to be a different setup over by the cleaning station.
Pen cleaning labs with like A/B testing over there.
White jackets.
Oh, I want a white jacket. Yes. It won't stay white for long.
No, I know, not with you. No.
Tie-dyed by the end of the day, I promise. And Handmade by Lorelei says, I use cold water and usually a bulb syringe to flush out the nib. And now I am thinking about getting an ultrasonic cleaner. What brands do you have?
Now, ultrasonic cleaners, boy, that's for some people a touchy topic because some people will tell you they're not needed, and I'll always say they're very handy to have. The kind I use is a little bit more of an industrial size. In fact, it's not even made anymore. In fact, I had one break a couple of months ago, and the replacement cost for it far exceeded the value of the unit.
Totaled and ultrasonic.
And the ones that I buy have drains. And I like drains because it just makes, if you have a large unit, ours have like, I think ours are 3-liter units. It's much easier. Most of your small ultrasonics, you have to take the whole unit and then take it to your sink to get the water out. There's no drain to it.
Yeah, I've seen.
So drain units, if you're doing a lot of pens, are very handy. They're very hard to come by, and these days, the company that I get mine from, which is Crest, their cheapest one now is like $1,200. It's absolutely absurd, and it's a monster size. I won't buy it. But the regular units, you can find even battery powered units, which are pretty nice. But most of your regular AC units, they're about yay big. There's all sorts of brands. Most of them come from China. The one thing I usually look for is how long the timer is, because most of them have very short timers and some of them are shorter than others. But the most I've seen, sometimes it'll be in seconds, about 480 seconds, so 8 minutes. If you find some that are less than that, just keep in mind that's how long, your pen might not be done in 8 minutes. You may need to keep pushing that button. So if you get one that's 4 minutes long, you're going to be constantly going back and pushing that button to redo it. So I look for that in a small compact unit. Is really one of the most biggest features I look for. Most of them use the same kind of frequency. And we're not talking about doing a ton of pens in one of these anyway, so it's usually pretty safe for most of them. So we have a winner.
We do indeed.
How do we pronounce this? Suvin RK.
Yeah, that's what I'd go with.
And Suvin RK says, to clean, I use water and dish soap for water. For when water alone isn't enough, and this is very good. It also helps get a little bit of lubrication actually in there too. Get in and can clean it out. Congratulations. Write to Eric at andersonpens.com. He'll take care of getting that $20 credit onto your Anderson Pens account. We have an additional comment.
Additional comment from Paul Herman. It says, Happy Panda Day, and wonders, why do pandas have fur coats? And it's because they would look silly in denim jackets. I think that's probably actually
that would match the Magna Carta though.
Maybe
cool.
that's where the Magna Carta denima got their denim from. It's the denim jackets donated by pandas rethinking their fashion choices.
And this is going to be interesting because I will look through.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to try this.
I don't. Let's hope the question for next week. Look through your stash and name an ink that you forgot you had. Please let us know in the comment section. I don't have that many inks, so I would be surprised if I had something I forgot I had, but it's not impossible.
I can think of a couple inks it's not.
And the more inks you have, the higher probability there's going to be multiples. So that might be fun. It might be fun to reintroduce yourself to a color you haven't used in a while. So.
Yeah. By default, I can't answer it here now, but I'll get back. Maybe
if you could answer it here, then it wouldn't be the answer.
Yeah, it's like I can't be Colorverse Fabulous Las Vegas. That's for sure. Can't forget that ink.
Twisbee coming out with a new Eco in Persian green. This is a pretty neat looking pen. The Twisbee Eco fountain pen in Persian green features a clear acrylic body and muted aqua green cap and turning knob. Of course, it has the silver trim, a piston filling system like all the rest of the Ecos, smooth writing steel nib, and a screw-on cap. The clear body allows you to view the level of ink remaining in the pen at all times, and it has an inner cap liner that maintains a thorough seal when the pen is not in use, so it prevents it from drying out. Traditional mechanism of the fountain pen combined with a modern industrial design embodies both the past and the present, and it runs about the same length as the Diamond 580 and just a tiny bit thinner. One difference between the Eco and the other Twisbee pens is that the Eco does not have a removable nib unit, and the barrel and nib unit are all one piece, which is kind of nice in certain circumstances.
Interesting.
Pre-sales are beginning this coming Tuesday, March 28th, and then the pen can ship and or picked up in store as of Friday, March 31st. So another good-looking color in the Eco series. I'm really pleased that they're continuing in the Ecos because it's a little bit more, not that the 580 is not affordable, but the Ecos, you can buy every one.
Yeah.
You really can.
Nice for all those different funky colors because you can absolutely have 5.
And if you want to put a different ink in each one because you want to dedicate a certain ink to a single pen, you can do it with the Ecos, and we have a lot of people who do that.
Oh, that's a cool idea too. And
so instead of trying to, if you got something that's a little bit, you're putting pigmented ink or something, or maybe something with shimmer in, you can leave it in one pen, and you can do that with a lot of Ecos. Oh,
plus that'd be great for like a pigmented or especially a shimmer ink. You can see, is everything settling down?
Yeah. So when you clean it, you don't have to worry about cleaning it. I mean, you want to clean it effectively, but if you leave a little bit in there, you're just going to fill it up with the same color ink anyway the next time.
Makes sense.
Coming soon, pre-sales next week. Anything else?
I think that's all for now.
This blank sheet here tells us to say that right there.
Yes, indeed. Thank you guys so much for joining us Tune in next time for more talk about pens, ink, and paper.
We're doing this out of order, and I'm sorry. You can check us out on social media as Anderson Pens. Don't forget there is a store in Chicago. It's the ground floor of the Palmer House Hilton, open for a couple more days. And the website for that is
chicago.andersonpens.com. And also don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.
And the pen in my pocket today, I actually got up a little bit late and forgot all sorts of things this morning. And I forgot my pens that I inked up yesterday. So today I have a very unusual Pilot. It's a Decimo vanishing point.
What?
Ballpoint. So have a great day.